I hereby summon all my imps. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. There are so many cards to talk about that just came out today from the set that we actually had to break this into two different sections so far. So we're going to continue down the path. For anybody who doesn't know, I don't give actual star reviews, I just give out how I feel about the cards. This is a Liberian Flyer. It's a 2-mana 2/3. If a friendly undead died after your last turn, summon another 2/2. This is another undead that died, which is always going to be a weird sentence to say. So if last turn an undead died, you get this and you get a 2/3. This is a swarm card. This is going to, all these cards that say stuff like this are going to be interesting to see, because this card is turn 2, 2/3, turn 3, 2/3 and a 2/2. This is going to go into the druid deck that exists right now, which is using the shark and stuff like that. I could see this easily fitting into that. So I will give this a watch out for any of these cards that say stuff like this. They might be more powerful than they seem. Next card up for us is the legendary Lofamar Theron, which is a 7-mana legendary neutral minion. So it's a neutral minion in the set. Most likely means that we're going to get it like at the beginning of the set, or we're going to get some like maybe like diamond at some point. Double the stats of all minions in your deck. That is big on 7. Even though it's not the best 7 card, that means any card that's still left in your deck. If it was a 2/2, now it's a 4/4. If it was a 4/4, it's now an 8/8. All of that is scary. This card is scary. It's gonna see play, and it's not bad stats. This is the old Hunter Dragon, but for your entire deck, whatever's still left in your deck. So I will give this a, doesn't seem like it's good now, but watch out later. Next card that we're going to talk about today is going to be the Invincible. Invincible is the Lich King's faded mount. If you ever played WoW for the Lich King, you know that you can get Invincible at some point. This is going to change something that's been happening in Hearthstone for a long time. Now certain minions are going to have 2 tag types who are just amalgams. Because this is both undead and a beast, and there's a lot of cards that are going to be retroactively changed in the past to be like pirate warriors and pirate murlocs and undead murlocs and stuff like that. You're going to see a lot of that come out. I think it might be live now. You'd have to look at that. But this is a 5/5 reborn, so that means when it dies it comes back as a 5/1. It has Battle Cry and Death Rattle. Give a friendly undead 5/5 and taunt. Now, just so that you understand, this is a neutral card. This does not belong to Demon Hunter at this point. But it only buffs up undead. You have some undead, there are some undead in the back. It'll be actually a tribe in the future, I'm sure, that you can search for undead. So, When this comes out, it gets something +5/+5. When this dies, it gets something +5/+5. And then it comes back and it dies again and it gets something +5/+5. So this is a 15/15 buff altogether. Little bit expensive on 8. It's a turn 8 do nothing, and that's what you have to be careful on this. Because it doesn't have taunt, your opponent can walk over it. Turn 8 you want to be slamming down a heavy bomb. So I will give this a seems powerful, but 8 is expensive. Next one up for us is going to be the Infected Peasant. Infected Peasant is a 2 mana that has Death Rattle, 2 mana 2/1 that has summon a 2/1 undead peasant. So it's just a general 2/1 that makes it 2/2. These have existed. This is Kindly Grandmother. This is a general card. Gonna see some play. Not the best in the world, not the worst in the world. A way for you to get bodies if you're playing Demon Hunter, Death Knights. A way for you just to get a body in general. A 2/1 that makes it 2/2 has existed for a while. Standard card, standard fare. We'll see some play. Kindly Grandmother says hello. Next one up for us is going to be for Calculas, which is the city in the Sunwell. It's a 2 mana Paladin Holy card that says give a friendly minion +3 attack, give your hero +2 attack this turn. So this is a way to attack with your hero and attack with your minion. And if you have out your shield in Paladin, you get an additional +2 attack. So that means you're doing 4 attack. That's going to hit if you have your shield out. Now, just so that you're aware, this does not give rush or charge. So if you have a minion out that can attack this turn and it's your only minion, you're losing the 3, you're just gaining the 2. So be careful how you use this. Seems powerful, but it has, if you don't have a friendly minion out, you might not be able to play this at all how it's triggered, although sometimes they'll still let you play it. But then you're just doing the 2 again. Next up for us is Embers of Strength, which is another warrior card, which is a fire warrior card that summons 2 1/2 cards with taunt, and then mana thirst 6, which means on turn 6 they get +1/+2. Why do you hate warriors so much? Seriously, why do you hate warriors so much? 2 1/2s for 2 is fine, but mana thirst 6 on turn 6 to summon 2 2/4s with taunt is nothing. That's not even worth it on 4. If you're not playing this on 2, it's basically not worth it. And even on 2, it's On 6, this does not become a better card with Mana Thirst. So I'll give this on 6, this does not become a better card. Next up for us, they did reveal a ton of these today, is Death Lever Aura, which is a 2 mana shaman card, which gives a minion Death Rattle, summon 2 3/2 zombie cats with Overload 1, 2 mana, 3/2 cats, Overload 1. Not bad, they're considered undead. Oh, they're not cats, they're just zombies. Sorry, I thought they said cats somehow. I don't know where I got cats from. Decently good card. Not bad on Overload. Next one up for us is Deal with the Devil, which is a Demon Hunter card. And then it's going to be hard to try to figure out when I should say Demon Hunter and when I should say Death Knight. Trust me, I'm going to mess them up from time to time. 5 mana, summon 2/3 Dolphins with lifesteal. If your deck has no minions, summon another. So this is going to be Spell Demon Hunter, which there used to be a Spell Hunter back in the day. Now it's a Spell Demon Hunter. 2 3/3s for 5 with lifesteal is okay. I don't think you care if you're playing other spells. If you're playing other minions, 2 3/3s with lifesteal is fine. That's basically a 6/6 for 5 that you have to deal with on 2 separate attacks. I gotta see if there's enough cards to justify this, but right now, Demon Hunter sometimes is playing very little minions anyways. So, interesting concept, gotta see if they can pull it off. Next one for us is Corpse Explosion, which is another Demon Hunter card, which is a 5 mana rare Demon Hunter 2 blood card, which detonates a corpse and deals 1 damage to all minions. If any are still alive, it repeats this. This card is incredibly scary, but not for the reason that you think. If you play this and you have 10 minions in your grave or 10 minions in your corpse pile, you're doing 10/10 across the board. But that's to both yours and your opponent's side. This is not just your opponent, this is both sides. And you just lost 10 bodies out of your graveyard. If there's a 12/12 on the board, this will kill a 12/12 for 5. Then you lost 12 corpses in your body, and it's going to completely wipe out of this. This is good for cards that have, like, if Radagor was still in the game, this would basically make Radagor cry. But you have to understand that you're losing a ton of corpses because you use a corpse if you can. It does 1 damage. If anything's still alive, you use a corpse if you can. It does 1 damage. And it keeps going on then as a loop until you run out of corpses or you run out of minions to deal 1 damage to. So, I'm going to give this a... You better hope that you got some corpses in your pile at this point. Next up for us is Blood Monarch Larden, which is a 2 mana 3/2 Divine Shield. This one is a 2 mana 3/2, so River Crackle sets. After you summon a minion with less attack than this, you get a Divine Shield and Rush. So if you summon even your 1/1 recruit, it gets Divine Shield and Rush. If you pump this, if you give this Blessing of Kings, Blessing of Might, anything else that makes this a 5, a 6, a 7. If you summon a 6, once this is 7, it'll get Divine Shield and Rush. This is going to die really quickly, so make sure that you use this wisely. But if you can get some pumps behind this, you can get some taunts behind this, if you can get some... this up to some decently good numbers, it might be harder to kill than you really give it credit for. So I'll give that a good card and watch out if it gets buffs. Okay. Next up for us is Arcane Bolt. Arcane Bolt is a 1 mana mage spell, that's arcane of course, that deals 2 damage, and on Mana Thirst it deals 3 instead. I wish that some of these Mana Thirsts were better. 3 for 8 on turn 8 to deal 3 instead of 2. I mean, it's going to see some plays 1 mana deal 2, but there's already better cards for 1 mana in Mage right now. The Mana Thirst really does nothing for this, and that's what I'm going to give this. Mana Thirst really doesn't do much for this. Next up for us is Acolyte of Death, which is another demon, another Death Knight card. That's 3 mana, 1 frost. After a friendly undead minion dies, I should already put minion in there, draw a card. So it's draw, it's their draw engine for Death Knights at this point. It's decently good stats. You're going to trade in 1 or 2 things, and this can get you 1 or 2 draws. It's kind of like an Acolyte of Pain for Priest, or the 1 for Warrior, that's a 1/3 that every time it takes damage. That might be Acolyte of Pain. So it's a decently good draw. For Frost, if you're playing Frost, you're throwing this in there just for the draw. It's so far the only draw card I've seen for them. Okay, are we even close to being done here? How many of these did they reveal? Yeah, let's see how many of these they got revealed. Okay, I think I got 1 more page, okay. Okay, so this is the last page here. They revealed a lot of these. We did 5, now we're on to 6. Next one up for us is Plague Strike. Can't believe they revealed this many of these on day 1. Deal 3 damage. This is a 2 mana, 1 unholy Death Knight card that says deal 3 damage to a minion. If it kills it, summon a 2/2 zombie with rush. This is kind of like Baited Arrow. This is almost the equivalent of Baited Arrow. Cheaper version of Baited Arrow. I'm basically giving this Baited Arrow says hi. Next up for us is Icy Touch. Icy Touch for us is a 1 mana. This is a Death Knight card. It's one of the first Death Knight cards that I've seen that has no actual rune to it that's a spell. Mercenaries might not be down right now. I'm not doing Mercenaries right now. There's some stuff that came out for Mercenaries. I'm doing card reviews today. I'll be back in Mercenaries tomorrow. So Icy Touch deals 2 damage to an enemy and freezes it. That's not just a character. That's not just a minion. That can also be face. So this can freeze somebody. Anytime that you can freeze face, it's going to see some play. And this is neutral, so pretty much Death Knights are going to use this all the time. Next card up for us is Horn of Winter. This is a 0 mana, 2 frost spell. It refreshes 2 mana crystals. This refreshes, this does not add to you, it will only refresh. It's a mana biscuit without the upfront cost. Next one up for us is going to be the Glacial Advance. So we're now getting into just the Death Knight cards. Glacial Advance is a 1 frost Death Knight card for 3, which deals 4 damage. Your next spell this turn costs 2 less. So this can basically be a 5 mana spell altogether, because you can play this and you can play anything that's 2 or less spell. So you can trigger this and then trigger anything that's 2 or less spell. So you can basically get 5 mana worth of spell casting. For 3 mana worth of using mana. So I will give it a we'll see play, and it's 5 mana, but it looks like 3. Looks like 3 plays like 5. This is Frostworm's Fury. This is a 7 mana, 3 frost spell. 3 frost rune spell. So if you play this, you can't play anything but frost. You can't play blood, you can't play unholy. This deals 5 damage, freezes all enemy minions, leaves yours alone, and summons a 5 frostworm. You're making your opponent skip a turn. You're dealing 5 damage to them straight off the bat. And you're sending out another 5/5 frostworm. Which basically, this is kind of, what's the mage card called? The portal that mage plays where you get an extra turn. This is that quest reward, but for just 1 turn. This is scary because this basically says, if your opponent didn't have anything when you play this down, if you had an empty board on there, if your opponent had an empty board, that means that all they're doing next turn is playing against this. But if your opponent had a full board, you're locking them out. You lock them out of the turn. All they can play is spells, if they have any spells. So it doesn't stop them from playing spells. But this is basically your opponent skips their turn. That's what this card says. But it is 7 mana, which is late game, and it is 3 frosts. So you have to be careful about anything that's 3 runes. And on turn 7, there are certain decks that just aren't going to care. And the last card for us that we're revealing today, or we're discussing today in all of this, is going to be the Blood Boil, which is the last Death Knight card that we're talking about today, which is a 5 mana, 2 blood gem, Demon Hunter, Death Knight, whatever they're called, card that has lifesteal. Infect all enemy minions at the end of your turns, they take 2 damage. So this is, if you hit something that's got like 5 health on it, you end the turn, they take 2 health. Even if they don't attack with it, even if they leave it alone, even if they do nothing with it, next turn it's going to take another 2 damage. Now if they heal it or whatever, anything else, they're going to get healed back up. But unless they silence that particular minion, this is going to keep on. And this is the bleed effect that I was talking about when I was talking about Goliath coming out. This is what I was thinking about for the bleed effect. This is kind of like how bleed effect works in Mercenaries. But this is now coming into Hearthstone. That was a lot to talk about in one particular day. They put out a lot on this. So just for future, when this is going on and for future references, when the next 10 cards come out, I will do a review on those next 10 cards, and only those next 10 cards. I'll do that every single time 10 cards come out until we get the final release, and then I'll do kind of like a final release, and then I will actually go through each of the classes, all 11 classes, and I'll make a top 10 of the 10 cards that got released when the actual set comes out. If you watch me do the free-to-play mode, we will still be doing the free-to-play mode on Mercenaries. We will take a quick break from that for right now. Because there is a special limited time event going on in Mercenaries. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. We'll be doing 1, 2, 3, and 4 tomorrow. And then every day we'll be doing the 2 newest quests for that. Thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, remember, play for fun.